We're here at the Archie booth. We're here with Ian, the writer of Mega Man, and Paul. Paul, what do you do in the book? Before I start talking to Ian and begging him for plot lines and stuff.
I'm the editor on the book.
What was it that got you started initially with, hey, let's do a Mega Man book?
Capcom actually came to us and asked us about adapting the property. They had heard we were interested in expanding our video game titles from Sonic the Hedgehog. And we had a 17-year history at the time with Sonic the Hedgehog comics, so what better place to go for Mega Man comics than Archie? And from that, it was a quick phone call to Ian, which I heard lots of squealing and delight, and then it went to Spaz, and it all rolled from there.
I can definitely say that I loved the book right from Jump Street. I don't know why I'm saying the word was. I am the biggest nerd when it comes to just comics and stuff, and Mega Man was like one of the first Nintendo games I ever had, specifically Mega Man 2, which, first of all, I want to say how great you've adapted the concept of the character. The artist, I just want to say right off the bat, he's like taken the feel from the original cartoon. I don't know if Capcom gave you, screenshots or whatever it was, but he's just taken that and pulled it right into the comic. It looks phenomenal.
Spaz does that in his free time. He's been practicing this series since he was a little kid. So that's how he got the art is second nature to him, definitely.
I can obviously tell that you have no shortage of, footage and stuff like running around in the Mega Man universe. Obviously, we're going to start with the first Robot Masters. Do you have a favorite Robot Master, and were you a fan, obviously, of the original game and whatnot?
I was always a fan of Mega Man, but I couldn't play the games to save my life. You know how when Mega Man 10 they introduced that super easy mode where they cover all the pits and everything dies in one hit? That's for people like me, because I'm terrible at it. But I love the series. Always been a big fan of the mythos itself. And I was really excited when we got this project. And out of the original Robot Masters, I got to pick Gutsman. Gutsman is phenomenal. He's hilarious. I love writing Gutsman.
I'm going to tell you this, and this is the only time, I said this on the show too, when I think Mega Man was up to around issue 2 or 3 at the time. It was early on, and you guys only did a 4-issue arc for the first story. And then now I've been complaining about a lot of other arcs going for just way too long, dragging themselves out. And this is the greatest compliment you'll ever get. This is the very first time I ever said, wow, I wish this would go longer. I wanted one book per Robot Master, and I would have bought it happily and sat there grinning from ear to ear reading it. I love the fact that he uses all the different weapons and actually uses the weapons that the other Robot Masters were weak against. Did that take you a long time to research, or did you know it off the top of your head? Did Capcom give you that information?
That was part of what I researched. That was part of how I structured the first arc, was how do we get this to move along quickly? And one of the easiest ways would be which weapon would be best suited. And since this is the first game, and everybody knows the first game, we didn't want to dwell too long on it. So having it move along quickly like that and use the pattern that most people already know seemed like the most logical way to do it.
Now, I was expecting, truthfully, that for the story to go in order, and I guess I was a little silly for that. So now we've introduced Time Man, and for the life of me, it escapes me who the other character is that helped Wily escape.
Oil Man.
Now, what game are they from?
They're from Mega Man Powered Up. It was a remake of the original Mega Man on the PSP. It was done with 3D models, very SD style. And to make it match with all the other Mega Man games that had the 8 Robot Masters, they introduced Time and Oil Man. So after we wrapped up the first arc, which was pretty faithful to the original game, we're taking time to do more of an original story arc where we bring in Time and Oil Man, pace ourselves a little differently. And then after that, we're going to move on to Mega Man 2 as a more faithful adaptation. And the initial plan, just currently thinking, is we're going to kind of jump back and forth. Game adaptation, something a little more original, game, something a little original, and see how that works. Not that that's set in stone. We'll play with the formula if we need to, but that's the thinking as we're going in.
Now, I won't beg you for any kind of plot details or anything, but I will be forced to ask you one question. When I got Mega Man 2 was the very first Mega Man game I got, because I started a little late to get Mega Man 1. Metal Man was the very first guy I went after, and I didn't care what he was weak against. I made sure I was going to beat him with my Mega Buster, and it took me a while. There was a couple of 4-letter words. There was a couple of Nintendo controllers thrown at the screen. I was maybe 11, but I'm Italian, so I hear Grandma, and that's all I, whatever. When can I expect to see Metal Man in the comic?
Metal Man will be showing up in the third arc. The entirety of Mega Man 2 will be in the third arc. And one thing that people were responding to in the first arc was that we went through the light robot masters a little quick. They wanted to see a little more of a fight. So for the Mega Man 2 arc, we are going to make Brock fight for his life against every single one of these guys. It's going to be brutal, each and every one of those fights.
You see the smile on my face, right?
Smile.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for, to make that smile.
Dude, you have made this nerd very happy.
That's what
Thank
we
you
do.
for a great story.
Thank you, sir.
Lots of luck in the future, man.